Hey dog moms and dads, welcome to season 2 of the Dog Mom podcast, where we never break our treats in half for our dogs. First up, we got a glow up. We have a brand new studio, bigger space, better audio, and yes, the chairs are already covered in dog hair. We have a new editor, which means that we're able to get you new episodes faster than before, and we have a new dedicated YouTube channel at youtube.com/dogmompodcast. But the biggest change, more voices at the table. We're bringing even more guests, entrepreneurs, trainers, vets, rescue heroes, ZippyPaws team members, and of course, fellow dog moms that want to share their story with us. So grab your leash if you're going on a walk, or grab a coffee if you're watching on YouTube, because the season 2 of the Dog Mom podcast starts right now. They're so literal. Oh my gosh, do not say that outside the house.
You know, the teacher was like, are you listening to me? And she goes, no, I'm not listening to you. And I was like, Penny, don't say things like that.
One day you kind of pick him up for the last time, and then
I picked him up and he was like, can you put me down? I was like, okay.
Welcome to another episode of the Dog Mom podcast. I'm your host, Jen Glaser, and today we have somebody from our team with us.
Yay.
She's been with us for, oh my gosh,
9 years.
9 years. So one of our first hires.
Yeah.
From all the way in the beginning. So,
OG hire.
So we got the two Jennifers over here.
Mm-hmm.
So give us, introduce yourself and give us a little bit of a history about how you started here at ZippyPaws and what you're doing now.
Okay, geez. 9 years. Okay. Well, I started 2016, feels like forever, as a customer service rep. And I slowly worked my way up, different staffing changes and things that had happened that actually benefited me. And I ended up moving up towards, office manager, and then, operations manager, and now...
And you did accounting.
And now I do payroll, and I think I've touched every department other than marketing and sales. And I almost am tempted to go that direction too, because I'm like, if I can do these, I can do it all. It's been a really, really fun journey. I've learned a lot, and I've been given multiple opportunities, and I've taken them all. And I'm really just content here. It's comfortable, and I've never once ever felt the need to venture out anywhere else.
Oh, that's nice to hear. We've kind of moved you to different departments, but I feel like you've always been doing really well at each of your roles.
I hope so.
But yeah, and sometimes we have different tasks that come up. Right. Yeah. So when we hired you, probably had maybe 4 or 5 employees at that time, and we needed people to wear different hats. Like, okay, sometimes you do a little billing and you do a little accounting, but we also need you to help with the warehouse in terms of order entry or things like that. And you did that, and customer service, answering the phone. So you touched a lot of different.
I touched a lot, and honestly, if I had to go back, if you were to tell me, I need you back in customer service, I feel like I would willingly do it, just because that was where I started, and that's my baby. All these departments are my babies, and I would be totally fine with just doing them all over again.
Yeah, and I feel like you did a little bit of that recently, the customer service. Yeah. Before we hired our full-time customer service person, you actually went back into customer service for a little bit. So.
Yeah, and it was nice. I don't know. It's just it's a simple task for me, at least, and it's comfort. It's oh, I know how to do this, and I enjoy doing it, so I don't mind.
Yeah, so that's always been nice. And today I invited you on the show to talk about motherhood.
Yes, motherhood.
So we both have 2 kids. Your kids are a little bit older, so tell me about them.
I have a 6-year-old son who's almost 7, and a 2-year-old daughter who'll be 3 in September. It's such a wild experience. I never thought I'd be here. And my son and my daughter are complete opposites.
Oh, really?
My son is quiet and gentle and reserved and polite. And my daughter is a tornado and like loud and talks back and tempers and screams and stuff. So, and they always say that they never come out the same. You know, there's always one that's a certain type and then the other is a different. And it's always the second that you have to worry about. But in your case, you got twins. So like 2 and done. They're just amazing despite all the challenges and everything.
Yeah. And I feel like the first one is always quiet. So it makes you feel like, oh, I can totally have another one. It'll be easy. Yeah. And then you get hit with the second child.
Yes. And she came out very calm and chill. And the first few months, I was like, oh my God, she's going to be amazing. She's going to be easy. And like, I don't know. I think it was like at the 6-month mark. I don't know what happened. It just downhill. Downhill from there.
She looks so much like you. And I feel like Tommy also looks like you.
Tommy, if I was to show you a picture of me when I was 7, we would look like twins.
Oh my gosh.
He's exactly my replica.
Yeah.
And Betty, my daughter, I look at her and I see, you know, characteristics in her that resemble me, but I have a hard time. I think she has like an even mixture between me and my husband.
She does have more of a mix, but I think I know you better. So
you look at me more than you.
Right. I mean, I look at Thomas like once a year.
Yeah,
and, you know, I can see this resemblance, but I think to me, she looks a lot like you.
Well, I hope so.
So how was your? How has motherhood kind of like changed your thinking and you know, and what have you learned from being a mother?
Oh man, yeah. If I was to go back into my 20s and think about being a mom, like I would not have imagined it being like this. I really didn't know what it entailed and like what level of strength it takes to be a mom, even just for one child. Like it's a lot. It's like all these different emotions that you feel that you have to overcome, and you can't be sick. You can't be tired. You can't be anything that you normally would be like, oh, I'm just going to go lay down and rest. You can't do that anymore. Like you have to put them first, and it builds it just builds you in your character, and you just become like this super mom, and it's amazing. And I think like being a mom too also shaped the way I handle everything outside of that too. Like you don't come up with excuses anymore. You don't, you know, you just handle it. Whatever it is, you just handle it.
That's true. And your, you know, level of accepting BS from anybody just goes to like all the way down to nothing. And like, no, I don't need any of that. I already deal with that at home.
Exactly. Like you don't have time. You don't have time for petty things. Like you realize what's important, and that's what you primarily focus on.
Yeah. And I feel like for me, when I'm working, I try to get through work as fast as possible, because I know if I have this list of things to do today, and if I can power through, then I can go hang out with my kids. Yeah. And, you know, whereas before maybe I'm, you know, dilly-dallying, or, oh, I'll do a little bit this and a little bit that. But for me now, I have my task list, and I put it really big on my screen, so I know it constantly reminds me that's what I'm working on, and I just power through. Oh man. And then just it's helped me to work a lot faster than before, for sure.
Yeah, maybe I should do that too, because I don't do that.
So I feel like our brains, we always think about so many different things, and I'm so easily distracted now. I think pregnancy has really altered my brain in some way, where I'm very easily distracted. I forget a lot of things, so I need all these tips and tricks to stay on task.
No, for sure. Like, and the sleep deprivation is a whole nother ball game. And I have the worst memory. And like, I am always that person that they're like, you know, people are talking, and I try to describe something. I'm like, oh, it's from that movie with the greenhouse and the guy, and they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, help me out here. I can't remember. Like, that's me all the time. And it's just like, yeah, it's the pregnancy brain. It's the postpartum brain. It's not sleeping.
The new normal that we have to get used to. For me, I think I have I know the word that I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
but the word does not come to me. Like, it does not surface. And I'll just be in mid-sentence and be like,
yeah.
You know, my husband knows. He's like, well, come on. Like,
he's nice. He gives you a chance. Like, no, he just tells. It's like, what you're trying to say is this. And I'm like, yes.
And then he's like making fun of me. He's like, okay. And then I'm like, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So it just is a new normal that we have to get used to.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. How do you feel like being a mother here at ZippyPaws? Like, has the company really supported you? Do you feel supported?
Yeah, for sure. And that was, when we talked about, these types of questions, that was the most important question for me, because when my son was born, after his first birthday, we found out he had retinoblastoma, and it was like a spiral from there. It was like, okay, quickest appointments we can get, 5 a.m. appointments at Children's Hospital in LA, and chemotherapy and like all these things. And he was just a little baby.
Yeah.
And going through that, I don't think I would have made it out if ZippyPaws didn't allow me to have that time to, get over the trauma, to get through those appointments. And like, that's the one event in my life, like, I'll never forget, both from just the experience itself, but also from the support I had from my career. Like, and it's like the number one thing that is like, okay, this place is great, because I was able to get through that. And I feel like, and I don't know, but I feel like other companies just might not have had that kind of tolerance. Like, they probably would have been like, we can't allow you to have this many days, or, whatever. Yeah, it was just really like a big turning point in my life, and it showed me a lot.
Yeah, and I can't imagine what it was like for you going through that, because your son was so young at the time.
Yeah.
But it was like hereditary, right? Like, you kind of knew that could be a possibility. So.
Yeah, and that's like a whole nother story in itself. We did know it was a possibility, and we, consulted doctors, and we were fed the wrong information.
Oh, interesting.
So we didn't do our due diligence to see if he was a carrier or anything like that, because, what we were told. And then just out of a rare, like, chance, my husband was like, his eye looks a little lazy and I'm a little concerned. Can we just go get it checked out? And I was like, fine. I was like, babies have lazy eyes. Like, this is normal, And he's like, no, something's up. And so I was like, okay. So then we went, and the same doctor that found my husband's retinoblastoma was still working, and he was the one that found our son's retinoblastoma. So, and then it just went from there. But like I said, just a huge lesson that we learned. And now no matter what a professional says or what a doctor says, we still get a second opinion, or still like do more research, because unfortunately what some doctors know, they don't.
Yeah. And Betty's okay.
Yeah, she's totally fine. We did the whole shebang. Like, right when she was born, we did the tests and we made sure, and yeah, she's good.
Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, I feel like as an employer, everybody has their seasons in life, right? And we do employ a lot of young women, and a lot of them get engaged and they get married and they have kids while they're here at ZippyPaws. And I'm just happy to offer them a place that they can, start a family and enjoy being a mother here, because, and we've had a lot of new babies that year that we all had. I think we had maybe like 5 or 6
I was gonna say like
babies.
5.
I think 5 ZippyPaws babies amongst all of us. I think Tommy's a little bit older, so he was in like the first wave of babies that were born here. So yeah, I mean, it's really nice to support everybody, and I think it's really important to start families, because that's like the meaning of life. Like, that's why we're here on this earth, is to create the next generation and to improve them, and making dog toys. It's a secondary thing, like a secondary goal of mine, right? Like, I feel like since becoming a mom, I feel the most fulfilled when like I'm teaching them things, you know? I mean, yeah, getting things done at work is great. And I love doing that. Getting into a new store is amazing. But that type of accomplishment doesn't give me the same joy and, you know, a sense of fulfillment as, you know, just spending time with the kids.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what we're doing. We're just having a good time and making memories. And, you know, I feel very happy that we have such a great team and I can support all of you guys in having more kids.
I don't want any more for the record.
I'm like, never say never.
Oh,
right?
No.
So yeah, it's really nice. And I think we currently have like 3 girls engaged.
Yeah.
We have a few newlyweds. I'm like, oh gosh,
it's gonna come.
The next wave is coming. Okay, let's make sure we cross train. Everybody knows each other's jobs so that, you know, if somebody gets pregnant, we can take care, but not at the same time.
No, not at the same time. Like, I think it worked out in an odd way when we had that first like wave, and it was like back to back, month. So when one was returning from their maternity leave, another one was leaving. So it like kind of cycled like evenly, and it was like really well done.
Yeah, I'm actually proud of ourselves. It was kind of like, you know how we have marketing event calendars? We kind of had like a ZippyPaws unofficial like baby making calendar. And it wasn't all in the same department at once either.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too.
Oh my gosh, we
did well.
We did do well. So we have to do that again for the next wave. We got to be prepared. I won't be joining that wave.
No, I know. So I'm retired.
We are retired. We are retired. The next question is, has your feelings towards your fur kids changed since having your human kids?
Yes and no. It's a weird combination because like we had dogs before having kids, and I think that's also really important too, to prep you for having kids, you know, because it's a living thing you have to take care of. You got to feed it, you got to clean up its poop, and you do the same for kids. And we treated our dogs like they were our children before we had children. Yeah. We would take them with us on road trips and things like that. And then our son came, and it was like an instant, like, okay, well, you're second now. Our son is first. And it was a transition, almost like bringing in a sibling into the house. Like it was a transition. Our dog had to get used to having this new human being in the house and all of our attention towards him. And we recognized that, and we still did our best to make sure that it wasn't like we were completely abandoning our pet. And our dogs, honestly, are so spoiled.
Yeah.
Like,
every dog that we have here are so spoiled. And when we say, like, they're second, they're like, no, they're not.
Like, let me paint you a picture. Like, our bed does not fit a lot of people, but somehow we managed to get us, the kids, and both dogs in the bed, and we all sleep together.
Oh, that's cute.
And it's just all full of love. But they are always welcomed into any space that we're in. And we try to incorporate activities that involve them too, like taking them for walks, and that's good for the kids because it gives them exercise, and going to, you know, the park to take the kids, but we make sure there's a dog park as well so that they can join us on there too. And it's like you just learn to pivot everything so that they're still included. And yeah, they just become family along with the family that you're growing.
Yeah. And did you get another dog? Did you get Tokyo in between your kids or after Betty?
Ooh, man. I think it was after Betty. I think Betty was about 6 months old, I want to say, which, I think that is true because I was like, this is crazy. What am I thinking? But we had just lost our St. Bernard, and we just had this opportunity fall on us that it was like, this dog's available. It needs a home. And we're like, sure, why not? You know, like we've always had 2. Like, let's just do it. And we brought her in, and honestly, golden retrievers are the best with kids. They're just the best. Like, our daughter can stick her whole fist in her mouth, and she won't bite and pull her fur. And
they'll take a lot of abuse.
A lot, yeah. And I couldn't be more proud that we're able to experience that with our kids, too.
Yeah. it's just also great to introduce them to helping the family
Yeah.
with like an animal, and also teaching them how to like approach an animal and things
Mhm.
like that. Yeah, and then we got Pepper when the twins were 10 months old.
Oh,
So we
yeah.
had like, you know, crawling babies, and then we
Mhm.
also had Spicy Pepper, you know, but we kept her in like her little playpen because her teeth were super sharp, and
Mhm.
I didn't let them play together without supervision for very
Yeah.
long. And then now she's so great with the kids, and you know, it's just really nice to see them all play together. And my kids love playing pretend, and they love pretending to be they call themselves Roman Pepper and Augie Pepper, and then they'll just like play around
Aw,
pretending
that's so
to be
cute.
Pepper.
Yeah.
And then, you know, chewing on things, chewing on her toys. So I'm like, don't put that in your mouth. So it's just so fun to see them grow up together. And like you said, yes, like it's hard to admit that now the dogs come second,
Mhm.
but they're not, like, we don't treat them like
No.
second, you know? It's just like, you know, obviously the priority is on the kids.
Yeah.
But the dogs get great food, they get, you know, tons of toys, and they sleep on my bed.
Yeah.
And, you know, same as before.
It's same as before, yeah.
Yeah.
Even like, but now like the dogs will sleep on the kids' beds, you know, and
Mhm.
sleep with them at night. And it's just nice to have that sense of security too.
Yeah.
Any kind of noise, any kind of sighting in the backyard, running possums or whatever, like they just dart out there, and it's just like they're first in line for the battle.
Yeah.
And it's nice.
Yeah, Pepper does that. And I feel that she feels a sense of pride,
Mhm.
because she'll chase off whatever squirrel, and then she'll come back to us to get, you know, her pets.
Her
And
pets.
and she's like, oh, like, yeah, I chased
Yeah.
that squirrel away. Yeah, I saved us, you know. So I feel like for working dogs like her, she really enjoys having that job to do.
Yeah.
And protecting. And when the kids were little, when they were in the stroller, she loved like walking along the stroller. And then
Mhm.
if somebody walked across the street, she's like,
Yeah.
hey, these are my brothers, and, you know, just protecting us. And what do you feel like is like your biggest challenge in motherhood right now?
My biggest challenge, I think, just giving myself grace for knowing as much as I do. It's more about not feeling guilty over certain things. Like, there's only so much you can do as a mom, and
Yeah.
you're not going to know everything as it happens. And like, for instance, like I, you know, sent my son to his first daycare, and I thought the place at the time was great, and didn't really know any different, and didn't realize that, you know, he was struggling until like a year into it. And then once I pulled him out and brought him into a different daycare, he just flourished. And
I do remember this.
yeah. And I felt so guilty about it, because I was like, oh my God, like, what happened over there? Like, what were they not doing with him, or what were they doing with him? But I know it was nothing like that. It just was that feeling of like, I wasn't able to figure that out beforehand, and he had to struggle through it as well as I did. And I felt like that was so unfair for him.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, I wouldn't have known. There's no way I would have known.
Right.
So now, from that lesson, like, I always like network with other moms in the neighborhood or in the area, and do my research on the daycares. And we found a really, really great one for both kids. And you just learn as you go, and you kind of have to allow yourself to be able to learn as you go, and not blame yourself for certain things that happen. My kids have fallen. My kid, you know, my son would fall and bang his mouth and have a loose tooth. And it's like, you just want to die. You're just like, oh my God, like his poor teeth, like he's crying, he's bleeding. Like, no, that's what kids do. They run, they fall, they get back up, and they keep going. Like, they're going to be fine. As long as you're doing the best that you can to keep them fed, keep them safe, you know, you're doing your job. But I think if we get too sucked into the fine details of it all, like, we'll lose ourselves. And it's so hard to get out of that.
Yeah. No, that's true. And I feel like having guilt is normal, because that's a normal response for, mothers, because we have that maternal instinct. And I feel like it's our bodies and our brain's way of telling us that, drawing us towards a problem.
Yeah.
And like having a little bit of guilt is totally normal, but then, you can only work with the information you have at the time.
Yeah.
So as long as we're just doing our best, we just gotta keep moving forward and not dwell on the mistakes, or not even mistakes, but the actions that we did in the past. And what is, how people talk about like having it all or finding your balance? Do you feel like there is a work-life balance? And do you feel like you're balanced right now? I'm like, maybe I shouldn't ask this because I'm your employer.
No. And I'll give you good feedback on that, because I do feel like there is a work-life balance. I do. I just think that it's up to the person to create that work-life balance. Somebody taught me one time that your life is like a house, and inside that house you have doors, and each door represents a place in your life, which is, one door for your family, one door for your work, one door for your doctor's appointments, like all these doors. And what you do is, before you open a door, you have to close one. So in my head, I visualize myself when I leave work or when I'm done with my shift, I close my work door. It's closed. I'm done. Now I open my family door and I go inside. And it's like, that just helps me to remember to not mix in different things, because that's where we get overwhelmed. That's where we just start to lose focus in what we're doing. And I think I didn't take that seriously until I had kids, until I started realizing that I wasn't giving them the attention that they needed, because I was like too stressed out about like, oh my God, I didn't finish this, I didn't finish that. And it's like, it'll get done. Everything will get done in time. You just have to remember that it's not the end of the world, like you'll get to it. And it took me a while to adopt that mentality. And once I did, it became easier and easier each time I practiced it. But I think like everybody has to get used to that kind of mindset. And I think a lot of us put so much pressure on ourselves to accomplish everything we can and to succeed, that we feel like we have to do the overtime. We feel like we have to, come home and do more work. And it's like, you don't have to. But if you want to, sure. But the other things are going to suffer along the way. So it's a struggle. And I think it just depends on the person who is trying to figure out that work-life balance and like what they're really dedicated to applying themselves towards.
Yeah. And we have young kids, so it's kind of a season for us, right? Where, with Betty, she's only 2. So it's just a few years in the beginning of their life that is so important for us to give them as much energy as we can. And I feel like when people say you can have it all, but we can have it all. Like in our whole life, we can have it all.
Yeah.
It's just like at any given time, we cannot have it all, right?
Yeah.
So you just have to figure out what in like the next 2 years or so, what's your priority? And for me, when my kids were born, like I stopped all my hobbies. I like didn't really hang out with my friends too much. Like I just really wanted to spend the first few years or 5 years of their life just focus on them, do what I need to do at work, and then give all of my energy and time to the kids. And maybe I could chase another customer or get into another chain store and do this collaboration with another brand or do this licensing opportunity. I mean, I could do that, but do I really want to spend that much time in pouring into this project and miss out the time with my kids? And I just choose not to take on some of those opportunities. And I'm fine with in the next, my kids are 3.5 now, so next 2 to 3 years to like still take a step back and let everybody flourish at the company. And I know I'll be back again when they're in school. So
I still feel like you're really young compared to me. Like you have more years ahead of you.
And my kids are a little bit younger.
Yeah. And like, because like your sons are 3.5. Betty's 2. So like I'm still in the thick of it, you know, with her.
Yeah.
And I think like, yeah, like opportunities are always going to come. They're always going to recycle in different ways, and they're always going to be there. But your children are only going to be this age for so long, you know, and then that's it. Like Tommy just the other day said, I don't want you picking me up anymore, Mommy. I'm too big. And I'm like, oh, it's like, oh my God, heart. So yeah,
he's
like
a big boy now.
He's a big boy, and he just feels like a big boy. He's like, oh, like up to my shoulder now.
He's very tall.
Yeah, so it's like that's it. It's over. I can't hold him. I can't carry him to the couch anymore. Like, that's it.
I feel like one day you kind of pick him up for the last time, and then
I picked him up, and he was like, "Can you put me down?" I was like, "Okay."
You know what? That sounds like something like my kids would say.
So true.
So, do you feel that's how you parent your kids? Has changed your leadership style at work, or do you feel like you go home and you're a different person, or are you kind of like the same?
Yeah, I'm trying to think back on how I used to be before kids, and
that seems like so long ago.
It does. Oh my God. But I think I remember just kind of being on that same wavelength as the other non-parents of like that freedom and that's it, 5 o'clock, I'm out, done. Like it's like a different attitude. It's a different perspective on everything. And then when you have kids, it's like, oh, like, again, we don't have time for that BS. We don't have time for that petty stuff. And like, it literally separates you from the non-parents. And as bad as that sounds, it's true though. Because you start to see the things that they complain about, and it's kind of like, oh, you have no idea. Like, come to my house, you have no idea. Like, and so I don't feel bad for them. And I'm just kind of like, you know, so the leadership style does change because you're not really putting up with the excuses like I think that you normally would have. Like, you know, oh, you know, it just reoccurs, like somebody is constantly complaining and wanting to leave early or show up late or whatever, and then it just turns into a constant thing, and you kind of let it slide because you feel bad, but you know it's kind of BS because you're like, it can't be that bad. Like, you know, like I know the struggles, and if I'm able to take my kids to school and get here, you can too. So you kind of you start to develop like this like emotional callous towards everybody. The leadership style definitely does change, but then your nurturing side does come out too at the same time, and you feel bad for these people, and you're just like, okay, you know, like whatever you need, like let me help you. And so you have to find that balance of like being supportive but also being strict, just like as a parent. Like it's just the same thing, and it's a navigation process. And for me, I think the biggest struggle for me is I have a hard time letting go of the nurturing part. Like I always am like, okay, whatever you need, like just let me know, I can help you, you know, whatever. And that definitely can get taken advantage of, and you just have to be aware of how that's going.
Yeah. And you do a lot of the HR stuff. So, you know, with payroll and everything. Yeah. So you do have to talk to everybody about their tardiness, their attendance. So that's on you.
Yeah.
So I can see that. That's why I don't like to deal with that stuff, because I feel like I'm too nice with that. I'll just let everything slide, and then it gets to a point where it's like, okay, well, what's happening? Right. But then they're probably like, oh, you let me slide every single time, so I don't have to be on time, or I don't have to. So I'm glad you take care of all that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I try. I mean, I think there was a point when we had more employees that I was very cutthroat, and like, because we were just in this situation where it was just getting kind of messy, and like
it was out of control at some points. And we had so many employees, and but
it pushes you to be that person, you know. But now that we are a tight-knit team and everybody is so great, I'm falling back into the like, everything's fine, like, you know, let me help you, you know. And I think that's good though. I think everything within balance.
Yeah. And sometimes one bad seed can really push us to be super strict, because you can't be lenient when one person is trying to game the system
Yeah.
or trying to take advantage of you. So you have to be super strict to everybody.
Yeah.
You can't be more than 2 minutes late. And I'm like, I don't want to be that person.
Right.
Right. But unfortunately, some circumstances and some employees do make you become that person.
Yeah.
It's just nice when we fall back into a groove again where we don't have to be that person anymore.
Yeah.
And, we have the strict rules, but we're kind of like more lax about it. And, nobody takes advantage of the system, which is great.
Right. So I think that's the whole point is like you can be lenient, but as long as you know the people that are standing behind you are not going to take advantage of it. And I think that's where we're at right now. I think everybody here is at like respectful and understands and would drop everything and do whatever we needed them to do.
Yeah. And in turn, we do the same for them as well. We try to, at least. And do you feel like, me and you are probably like mentors to the younger girls on the team, and they probably look up to us? They're like, those grandmas are doing great.
The grandma. In my mind, I feel like I'm still 16. Like sometimes I still feel, I don't feel like an adult sometimes. I don't feel like I'm 41. I don't feel like I'm 41. I feel like I'm still stuck in my 20s, and I still get excited over like, oh, when I find out somebody's getting engaged or when they're pregnant, I get so excited because I'm like, yes, like I get to experience this with you.
Mm-hmm.
And, but at the same time, like I do feel that motherly way because I'm like, you need help with the wedding? You need help with like what questions do you have about having a baby? I can help you, you know?
We're like, ask us about our delivery story. Just ask.
And I will teach you everything you need to know.
I will let you know all the gory details.
Mm-hmm. And I will get you ready. And I'm like,
But you do need to know, like, not the worst case scenario, but you need to know like the not so pretty side of that.
And I had a really worst case scenario, and I had a really, really pretty side. So I had both, and I can share both. And it's like I can teach that. And I don't know how they feel. I feel like we all get along so well. I don't know if they would want to take any advice from me, but I definitely have it.
You're like, I'm going to tell you my advice,
like whether you like it or not. Yeah,
exactly. It's just such a fun time, and your son is like 6, so I'm sure he's learning a lot of things at school that he comes home and
it's pretty insane. In kindergarten he was bringing home homework, like homework packets for the week, and we'd have to finish these packets by Friday, and like he's in kindergarten. It was just so wild to me. And now he's going to be in 1st grade, and like I just want to make sure that I give him the support that he needs. Like he's super smart. He's super intelligent. He can do it. I have no doubt about it. But can I do it? Like, can I find the time to sit with him and be patient and show him like what he needs to do? And that's just something that comes with growth.
Yeah. And how do you feel, like, how do you think about your career in maybe say the next 5 years or the 10 years or maybe even further when your kids are grown? Like what are you looking for in your career and home balance in that way?
I think I had to stop midpoint in my master's program because it is very demanding. They have a lot of curriculums and things that you need to follow, and I just couldn't keep up with the kids. I think when they get to the bit, like Betty gets to the age of 10, fully, independent, and I can take that time to finish my degree. I would like to do that and see where that takes me, because I wanted to do clinical counseling forever, and I still want to do it.
Right, you went to school for that.
And I never want to. I still want to accomplish that, and I still want to take it somewhere, because I've like always. I feel like every job I've had, I somehow fall into the HR. I don't know how it happens, but it happens. And I think it's because that's just my natural personality. I tend to just go that way, and because I'm easy with people, and I can talk with them and try to figure stuff out along with them. I'm not very judgmental, things like that. And I think it's just always embedded in me, and that is ultimately within the next 10 years, like that would be my life goal, and it's a good career.
Yeah. I think some maybe people in like our generation or maybe younger might think, oh, you have kids and your career is like stopped or over. And
Yeah.
I don't feel that way. And obviously, we're very lucky in that, our job is like flexible
Yeah.
in that way. And obviously, I can, take time off as I need. But I honestly don't. I don't even take time
I was like, I don't remember the last time you took time off.
Yeah, I mean, I took 2 days off because my in-laws were in town.
But that was it.
But I was like cleaning the house, But yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm at home, so I just do work when I can, and when the kids are, I always make lunch and I eat lunch. We eat all the meals together, so that takes up a lot of time.
Yeah.
And then I work into the evenings where they're sleeping, and I can get like deep work done. And on the weekends too, sometimes they're just playing and in the sandbox or something, and I can get some work done. So like I like to be flexible, but when I'm with the kids, it's just about them. And I'm in and out, and my husband right now is a stay-at-home dad right now, which is like amazing for us. I just want to keep them as home as long as possible.
Yeah, I know, that's so hard. Like that's what I wanted as well. And we didn't have the resources to continue on with keeping our kids at home, which is actually totally fine. I'm okay with it. But like that's such a rare opportunity to have the husband be able to stay at home dad, because as much as we're moms and we always talk about, oh, we're moms and like we do this and that, like the dads do a lot too.
Yeah.
They have a huge impact on the kids' lives.
Yeah.
And I know like when my husband Thomas, like when he plays with the kids, he plays with the kids. Like it is like rough play, it's pretend play, it's in their face and everything. And like I wish I was more like that, but I'm more of like, okay, I gotta make dinner, I gotta do this, I gotta do the laundry, so my focus is somewhere else. But he can just tap into that imaginary play.
Yeah.
And
they can play for a long time.
Yes, yeah.
And for me, I'm like, oh, I'm playing, or I'm more drawn towards like teaching them things and be like, oh, this is this. And I try to teach them Chinese too, right? So I'll teach them the English word, and then we'll do the Chinese, and then we'll just mix and match. And then, but in my mind, I'm like, oh, I gotta put in that load of laundry. Whereas like I'm sure he like not. He's very involved in like the playing part and taking them out and driving around, and so they have a great time with him, and I'm just trying to like keep that going as long as possible.
Yeah, and I think that's like good too. Like if you're gonna have your kids at home, that's great, but also make sure that they're learning while they're at home. And I think that's what you have going on.
Yeah, I mean, for my kids, they love being in nature, so we just try to be outside as much as we can. And I feel like we're teaching them how to behave by just being there and being, and that's how they're learning. They're not, I mean, ABCs, I feel like they can learn that.
They're going to learn it eventually.
I mean, what are they going to do with that at this point, right?
Yeah.
So now we're teaching them about like how to control our emotions, how to think, and how the way we do things. And when we tell them all these things, they're like listening like very intently, so it's just so funny. And the things that they're saying now are just so hilarious, and they're so literal too. They'll say different things. I'm like, oh my gosh, do not say that outside the house.
Yeah. Like Tommy, like I always talk about how he's just so quiet and reserved. But Betty, she told her daycare teacher the other day that, the teacher was like, are you listening to me? And she goes, no, I'm not listening to you. And I was like, Betty, don't say things like that. Like, that's awful.
They're so literal. It's so hilarious. Okay, so since you say you're not having any more kids, are you thinking of adding another dog in the future? Do you like having the dynamic of a 2-dog family?
I do, but there's always like, that chance that we might see another dog and want to adopt it. We are aiming towards a cat, though. We do want a cat, and we're talking about maybe Christmas. We'll surprise Tommy with it.
Oh, that's so cute. Doesn't he love cats?
Yeah.
Oh my
He's obsessed, and we always have this neighborhood cat that we invite in and we feed it, and she only stays inside for like 20 minutes and then she'll run back out. But every time we're like, she's here, and like we bring her in and stuff. So we're getting the dogs used to seeing cats and the kids seeing cats, and I think that's going to be our next direction. definitely no more kids. And I think we'll always be at 2 dogs no matter what.
Yeah, I like having the 2-dog dynamic because you have a friend and they're kind of like a little pack.
Yeah.
It's been nice. Yeah, so excited. I'm like, Tommy, don't watch this. Your mom's gonna like get you.
I know. Well, we ask him, we're like, so what do you want for Christmas? And like, he won't really say much and be like, you want a kitty? And yes. And like, okay, well, we'll see. You got to be a good boy, and we'll work it out. So yeah.
That's exciting. And I just saw a report that said that a lot more families are now becoming both like cat and dog owners. And I mean, that's exciting for us because, we have ZippyPaws that we launched a few years ago and it's been doing really well. And we want to try to, maybe we'll have to do a focus group with you because, we want to sell to families that have both cats and dogs. And, because I don't have cats, so I'm wondering about the dynamic. Get cats? No, I don't think so. My husband doesn't like cats, so I...
Oh, no?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the kids like cats, but we'll just tell them that they're allergic, so we can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure, when they get older, if they want cats, we'll reconsider, I think, at that point. So they'll have to do a lot of convincing. And, okay. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Okay.